What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Got some Eddie the Con Artist Hearn's news as he did an interview with Sky Sports yesterday, and they asked him about Deontay Wilder potentially becoming the WBC franchise champion at heavyweight. I'm gonna paraphrase what Eddie the Con Artist said. He said that he probably would accept the WBC franchise title in order to duck Anthony Joshua or Dillian White. Now, this is all about it, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Hearn is butthurt that the WBC did not make Dillian White the mandatory for Deontay Wilder's fight. For Deontay Wilder's next fight, or the fight after the Fury fight. Jose Suleiman came out at the WBC convention in Cancun last month. I think it was not last month, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was at the beginning of November or at the end of October. It was basically a couple of weeks ago. Jose Suleiman came out and stated that Dillian White, due to the non-information about the B sample, that Dillian White will not become the mandatory until February of 2021. So he's basically going to have to wait another year plus to get his mandatory title shot against Deontay Wilder. And Eddie the Con Artist is butthurt about that. That's what this is all about. That's why he's throwing shade at Deontay Wilder. As you know, Deontay Wilder did an interview and said that he's listening to his fans and he would not be willing to accept the WBC franchise title. He said he looks forward to fighting his mandatories. And, he looks forward to fighting a Dillian White who's been frustrated, been wanting to fight Deontay Wilder for over a year now. He said he'd be willing to, fight him and fight other mandatories. And he said that's all about being a champion, man, fighting your mandatories and defending your belt. So he would not be willing to accept the WBC franchise champion. And we all know that Deontay Wilder is a truth teller. He doesn't just say things and lies and stuff like that. He says, well, if he says he says he feels that way and he's not going to accept the WBC title, you can take that to the bank. I mean, my bad, you cannot accept the WBC franchise title, you can take that to the bank, man. He's not the guy that's going to lie. Not going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to lie about it. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Eddie Hearn is being is upset about the WBC ruling, and that's what this is really all about. Now, Eddie Hearn also stated that he's going to reignite negotiations between Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. He's going to be looking to try to make that fight as early as May of 2020. He says Gennady Golovkin's got a mandatory that he's going to get out the way that he's probably going to take place in February, and he's looking to fight Canelo Alvarez in May of 2020. Now he's talking like he's really in control of the situation, like he's calling the shots, man. First of all, you're the B side, so you wait for the phone call for you. You don't call them and say, oh, let's negotiate. They can just basically hang the phone up in your face. You're not calling any shots. Canelo is the clear A side, and if the zone offers him the right monetary value, he will take the fight. He said that after the Kovalev fight, that if the money's good, he'll fight Triple G. But he says he feels that his job is complete as far as the Triple G situation. He fought him twice. He feels he beat him both times clearly, and he says he has nothing to prove by stepping in the ring for a third time with Triple G. However, in my Stephen A. Smith voice, if they offer him the right monetary package, he will be willing to step in the ring again with Triple G. So that means what he made last fight against Kovalev, $35 million, you're going to have to come up with some way more money than $35 million if you want him to fight Triple G. You got to come up with some way more money. So I'm thinking the starting point is going to be $40 million that they're going to have to offer Canelo for him to consider fighting Triple G. Anything less than $40 million, I don't think he's going to take it, because he made 35 fighting Kovalev, so they're going to have to at least come up with 40. So Dan Skipper, guys on the clock, try to come up with that money. You've been throwing a lot of money around, but if you're paying, you're going to have to pay him 40, you're going to probably have to play Triple G at least 15, so that's like $55 million for that fight. And in that fight, I don't see grossing enough money to cover that what you paying those two fighters. If you pay him 40 and him 15, that's $55 million. I don't see that fight grossing, showing a revenue of $55 million. Not for a third time. The first two fights didn't profit $55 million. Now, you think this third fight on a non-pay-per-view on an app that a lot of people don't have is going to profit $55 million? But, you know, Dan Skipper have said that they're looking at the big picture. They're putting this money in. It's like an investment. They're looking forward to pay dividends down the line. So we'll see how that transpires in the coming years with the zone. But Eddie Hearn is out here on the prowl again, man, running off at the mouth, you know, talking about Deontay Wilder. Can't keep his name out of his mouth. He needs to be concentrating on AJ. That's another thing I've been wondering. AJ protectors, your fans, where are you guys? You know, right after AJ lost to Andy Ruiz in a shocking upset, I was expecting you to really get ghost the next day, but y'all stayed around actually after that. You know, a couple of months after that, you were still on Boxing Scene, you still on YouTube in your comment section talking trash about Deontay Wilder and making all kind of excuses for the AJ. But somewhere around the last month or two, you got kind of quiet, and you've been incognito. Where you at? As the fight gets closer, December 7th, it's gonna be put up or shut up as far as AJ goes. He's gonna have to either make that fight look like it was just a bad night, or it's just that Andy Ruiz is just a better fighter if he loses to him again. So we'll see, man. But the fans are very nervous. They're very quiet. I would suspect the week leading to the fight, December 7th, that the AJ fans will come out and they'll put on a brave face and talk about what AJ is gonna do to Andy Ruiz, and AJ is gonna get his titles back and this and that. But in the back of their mind, they know if AJ loses this fight, it's over. All that trash talking you talked about Deontay Wilder, you talking about AJ was the best fighter in the history of the heavyweight division, and AJ is this and AJ is that, and it turned out that he was none of that you just thought he was, that you said he was. He's nothing but a muscle-bound, no head movement, bodybuilder, a guy that's got good combinations, but a guy that has a glass jaw, worse than this side of Seth Mitchell in the heavyweight division. Can't take a real good punch before he went to sleep, as Andy Ruiz was never known as a knockout artist, and he dropped him multiple times and eventually stopped him. So the guy's got a shiny little glass jaw. So he got exposed in that fight. Wasn't the same after he beat Klitschko. That was the beginning of the end for him. Eddie Hearn's going to probably live to regret that decision, as they made a lot of money off that fight, but they put him in to that type of fight way too early in his career, as that was a brutal fight, and it took a lot of confidence away from AJ and exposed him as a guy that had a weak chin, and it got exposed again against Andy Ruiz multiple times. So we'll see what happens, man. Your AJ protectors need to come on out the woodworks. You guys been hiding right now. I know you're going to try to come out the week leading up to the fight, but you've been incognito. You talked a lot of trash for a year and a half about Anthony Joshua this, Anthony Joshua that. Deontay Wilder is a bum. Deontay Wilder only makes $2 million a fight, and Anthony Joshua makes $20 million a fight, and this and that. But you've been quiet the last month and a half, last 2 months. And after you tried to put on a brave front after the shocking loss to Ruiz, you still talk your trash about Wilder, and you still bump your gums, but then you went into your rabbit holes, and you're hiding right now, and you're sitting there wondering what AJ is gonna do in this rematch, and you're scared, and you're wondering if he loses, is it really over for all you AJ protectors? So we'll see what happens, man. But we'll see what happens, man. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.